I show up for myself every single day. I love working towards my goals and my dreams. I am worthy of success. I am entitled to a good life. In this episode, I am going to be talking about showing up for yourself, doing what you need to do to become the success that you are.
Manifest mindset with me.
Hello and welcome to Manifest Mindset by Affirm Afform Attract. Your place to come to when you need tips and advice when manifesting. We are an affirmation channel and you can find all our affirmation videos on YouTube. Hello and welcome back to Manifest Mindset. In this episode, I am going to be talking about showing up for yourself. I have done an episode on this before, but I felt the need to do another one. But in this episode, I want to talk about why we don't show up for ourselves. And quite frankly, it's because there's no consequences. Well, there is consequences, but we don't see or notice or acknowledge the consequences of not showing up for ourselves. Because it's easier to just not and just feel sorry for ourselves and keep doing things that we don't want to do to get by. And so when it comes to us wanting to get ahead, we kind of fall short. And simply because, why? We don't really have anybody to encourage us or to stop us. Now let me continue. When you go to work, you have a boss who will tell you the things that you need to do for the day, the week, or whatever. Or you know what you already do. You go to work and you just get on with your work. The consequences of you not doing the work is you being fired. You're not going to be capable of doing the job. They're going to say, look, you know what, you're not contributing to what you need to do. You're not doing what you are paid to do. So therefore, we have to let you go. So the consequences are, if they let you go, you have no job, no income, and it doesn't look good on your resume if you are fired due to laziness or whatever. But in our own lives, because we have quote unquote nothing to lose, we don't put that same kind of effort onto ourselves. You see, we're already working and we already get paid, and we already use that money to pay our bills and do whatever else we need to do with our money. If we fall short, we might have a credit card out to buy more expensive stuff, and we pay that every month. So we have a routine, and the routine, we're settled into it. And even though we may desire more and want more, or we're not unhappy in the job that we're doing, whatever it is, we're comfortable and it's easy to stay there because you kind of know what to expect. But when it comes to doing the same thing for our lives, because there is no boss, we haven't got anybody on our backs, we don't put ourselves on our backs. And even if you get yourself a mentor, it's so easy to just say, oh, you know what, I don't want to be pressured, I don't want to be hounded. You can stop having that mentorship. So there's nothing really grounding you. And when you have nothing to lose, sometimes it can be quite hard for you to start. Now, the only consequences that we have when we don't show up for ourselves and do the things that we want to do is that we will never get there, and we will continue to live the life that we do not want to live and end up being miserable, sometimes even bitter, and sometimes even jealous of others, which are not good traits. It lowers your vibrations, it lowers your mood, it makes you angry, it makes you an unpleasant person, and in the end, you just go through life, continue to do not what, it's just a circle basically. And what we have to do is we have to make a decision to show up for ourselves, step by step, baby steps, tiny steps, micro steps, whatever steps you want to call it. We have to take those steps. Now, for some people, just going to work is enough to push. Some others, it doesn't really matter. What they want to do is enough to give them that inspirational motivation to keep on going. And for some of us, we're just in a very dark place, a very low place, and we have this fire, which is your gut, your spirit, screaming at you to get on with what you want to do, pursue it, start it, continue it, whatever place you're at. But then there's another part of you that is, and I'm not going to say lazy. I hate when people think people are lazy when they're not doing what they want to do. Or this is the one thing that really gets me, oh, if you want it bad enough, you would do it. I absolutely despise that statement, because everything in life is mental. Where your mental mind, where your mindset is at, where your state of where you are in your place, that will determine whether or not you get up and do what you have to do. Now, there are two things that can split into that. You can just get on with it. I spoke about that in a podcast before. The action of just doing it anyway. The same way, if you want to have a bath, you literally have to get in the bath or the shower and wash yourself. You're just not just going to be clean. You know, there's some things that you can't just manifest, you know, unless someone chucks a whole load of soapy water on you. You know, you literally have to take that action. And in life, sometimes that's what we got to do. You can't wait for inspiration or motivation. You just have to start. And you can do that by a series of making plans, small goals, whatever way that suits you. Sometimes you might have to have a talk with yourself. We all know why we show up to work and do the job that we do. Even if we do it with a grumpy face, even though we do it with a kind of bad attitude in our head, when we go to work smiling and say hello to our colleagues, but deep down inside we're in pain and we're hurting and we're crying, but you still get up and do it. But for some reason we don't, even that's quite low vibrational, and that's not the way to live our life. But we never even try and do that with our own stuff. So you want to start a YouTube channel, you want to start a business, whether it's a digital business, whether it's a coaching business, or whatever business you want to start. You know, we don't allow ourselves to try and do the same thing but with our stuff. You know, we're willing to go to work miserable, but we're not willing to start our own business miserable. And not that if you start your business, you should be miserable starting it, but there's something to say that we are so willing to do what hurts us, as opposed to taking a single step to do something that benefits us. Now, as individuals, we try and find what works for us, what gets us up in the morning, what helps us to get through the day. And some of us, we just can't even get there. We can't think. We're so low. We're feeling so much pain. We're hurt. And we know that doesn't help us. We know that every time we feel like that and think like that, we're just affirming more of the same. So these are the times when you need to put challenges in place. Forget your inspiration, forget your motivation, and just take steps to get to where you need to be. Every time I get up and I go to work in the morning, and on my way to work, I come home and I'm going to do an hour of my own thing. If you're someone who wants to start a business and you don't know what it is, look for the type of businesses that you might be interested in. Watch YouTube videos, join some kind of talks or live streams, if there are any at the time, on people on the subject of the business that you want to investigate, whether it's an actual business or how to start getting into business. What you need to do is you need to try and not think about where you are in life and how your life is going, but think about what can I do to make steps to make it better. If you can't find joy, don't force it. If you can't find happiness, don't force it. Don't try and be like, oh, it's like my business, oh, look at my schedule, I've done this, because not everybody's life is like that. We are going to do things in a miserable state. We are going to do things in an unhappy state. We are going to do things where we just don't really feel up to it. I've done that. I thought, you know what, I haven't done a video for a while. Let me quickly bang out a video. And I go and I do it. And sometimes I end up doing 2 or 3 videos. And same thing, oh my gosh, I haven't done this in a while. Let me do that. And I just get on with it. So when I look back, at least I can see the work that I've accomplished, seeing the work that I've done. It's not always going to be joy and roses. It's not going to be like, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I write in my journal, I say my prayers, I say some affirmations, then I go for a jog, then I have some breakfast, and then I come home and have a shower, and then I do a nice facial, and then Life isn't like that for everybody. It's great if you can get there, but don't worry about the fantasy life that most of us will love to live. Just do the steps and the things that you need to do to get you going. Okay, so if you're someone out there who wants to start a business, you want to start a YouTube channel, you want to do something, make goals. This is what I did for this April. What I did is I got a piece of paper, I got a few pieces of paper, A4, and I cut them up into rectangles. And what I did on a separate piece of paper, like line paper, I write down all the things I need that needs to get done, I want to do. And I know I'm not going to be able to achieve everything in that month, but it's better out from my head onto paper. And then I broke it down in sections, like making my YouTube videos for Affirm Afform Attract, my podcast, my this, my that, finishing my website that was supposed to be finished time ago and I haven't done it yet, and all these other things. Now, even I've got also in the back of my mind, I know I've got things like housekeeping, going to work, doing this and doing that. So I know I still got to fit things in, but I didn't worry about that. I just wrote down everything that I want to do, everything that needs to be done. And then I broke it down. Okay, so for this part of my thing that I want to work on, these are the elements I would like to get started on or finish. Yeah, or continue. And then I'll break them down into things that need to be done. Okay, so I just need to look for this, or I need to buy this, or I need to film this, and I just break it down. So on my piece of paper, because I do different stuff. Like, I don't just do my affirmation channel and this podcast, I do other different things. So because I do a lot of things, my life is quite full, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. But what I've done is I wrote down all the things that I need to get or would like to get done through the month. And then what I do is they're all cut up into rectangles. And if I don't know what I want to work on, yes, there's priorities. But let's face it, sometimes we've got priority stuff and we're just not feeling it. And what I say to myself is better to do something, whether it's priority or not, than do nothing at all. Because at least then that's out the way, regardless whether it's the top 3 priority. And then what I'll do is I sift through my cards, and then I said, right, I'm going to work on this, or I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to work on this. Yes, there's going to be times when, like for example, I have to say, no, actually, I need to work on this because this is coming up now and I need to get this done, and I will do it. And what I found this month is that I started this on the 2nd of April, I think, or 3rd of April. I kind of done this. It's working for me, and it's pushing me to do the things that I want to do. So it's really helping me. There's the past few days I haven't been able to do much because my uncle got out of hospital, so I've been helping him, like cleaning the house, doing his washing, and so there's other things that's come and step in place of what I wanted to do, but I don't let it stop me. Yesterday I started working on my website. It was a bit of a slow day. It was bank holiday here in the UK on April 10th, and but I didn't beat myself up either, even though I was a bit slow. I just thought it's bank holiday Monday. It's like, let me just relax. And then today I've got some plans of this podcast is one of them to do. I think I'm going to do another podcast. I got a video that I wanted to do and get out there. And there's other little bits and pieces that I want to do within my businesses that I do, and like just running around, like some errands that I got to do. Because I'm not working, I haven't worked for a little while, so I'm just making use of my time. So that's how I run things. Now with you can decide. You can take my advice, do what I do, find someone who got some tips to get started. But whatever you do, make plans for you to start. It doesn't matter if you are feeling miserable at the time and you're feeling low. Don't keep living life through your emotions, because if we did that, we won't get anywhere, and it would just lead you deeper and deeper and deeper into misery and feeling sorry for yourself. And then when you look back and you think, gosh, it's July already, and I promised myself this year I'm going to do this and this and that, and I haven't even done not 1/8 of anything, you're going to feel even more miserable. So I will encourage you to take some time, write down it doesn't matter if you've got loads of stuff to do, just write down and take elements of things and start. Because sometimes when you just start, it will make you feel a lot better. and help you to continue, even if you don't continue it for another 2-3 weeks, but just starting. In life, sometimes we just need a nudge. And if a nudge is all that you can muster up, go with that nudge and just help that it builds. Now, on the affirmation side of things, if you're struggling, you can affirm it. If you listen to my affirmations, I said at the beginning, going to repeat it. I show up for myself every day. I love working towards my goals and dreams. I am worthy of success. I am entitled to a good life. Whether you make up your own affirmations or go on YouTube or wherever and find affirmations, affirm the life that you want. Now, again, guys, I get it. Sometimes we don't even have the energy to affirm. We don't have the energy to change our mindset, the energy to feel good, the energy to be positive. It happens. And when that happens, that's why it's so important that you take the action side of things. If you don't have the energy to affirm things, take the actions at the very least. You know you want to start a YouTube channel talking about arts and crafts. Start it. Start writing down what your channel's going to be about, what you would like to do in the future. Would you like to have your own merchandise? I know I'm jumping ahead, but sometimes if you just write things down with a pen and paper, that is, yeah. And if you want to do it on your phone, all means, or your computer, and you want to do it directly, that's fine. But if you take things out of your head and just lay them in front of you, you will be surprised how your mind starts to kind of unscramble itself and starts to make sense. Because what happens, we have all this pent up feeling, this pent up emotion, words, images, stuff that we want to do. We're pulled from all different directions about, shall we do it, shall we not do it, and it gets so overwhelming, and you end up, I'm going to put on Netflix, and which is fine sometimes. Sometimes you just need to put on a Netflix and chill for an hour because everything is so much. But write things down, pick up one aspect of something and start. Other people have different advice. This advice I give you may not be for you, and that's okay. Find what works for you. There are times, guys, when I'm doing something and I'm just like, is it worth it? Like, if I'm not seeing the results, I do fall back on myself and I say, is it worth it? You know, I'm doing this, you know, do people really care? You know, what is the point? And sometimes I end up trying to find something to do that's going to give me slightly quicker results. It may not be the most practical thing, but sometimes that is where my brain goes. So as much as I've got lots of things doing and I've seen growth in areas, like I've had a spout in subscribers the other day, I've been posting more on the shorts and that's encouraged more subscribers and everything. You know, I do get confused as to what shall I do first. Shall I work on this? And if it's something is that, if you're going to work on something that's not going to bring in something immediately because it's an ongoing thing, versus, well, if I do this, I want my YouTube to grow, I want my podcast to grow, or I want to make sales here, it can be quite draining. And again, what I go back to is like, what do you feel like doing today? You know, forget that. You know, there's nothing that you're going to do that's going to immediately just going to happen within 10 seconds. Okay, yes, you can manifest it, but let's just be real of the real. All what matters is that you're doing it and you're pushing through. And what I do is I go back to my pieces of paper that I've written and I pick a subject, pick a topic, and I go and I continue it and I do it. And I do feel much better. And sometimes I have no emotion with what I'm doing. So for example, I started doing more YouTube shorts, mainly because I found that you can take your own videos and remix it and turn it into a short. I did not know that. I don't know how long that feature was on my phone, but when I discovered it, that's how I got a whole lot of shorts that I started to do, because I didn't have to go back on my own computer, edit things down and then upload it. I didn't have to do all that. And I was like, oh my goodness me. And when I did that, I got a surge of subscribers. I got some mixed reviews. A few people liked the shorts, and it felt good. And it was an instant gratification. Yeah, there's times I've uploaded like, well, I still only got 3 views, and 2 of them are mine. Like, what's going on? But I don't let it stop me, and I keep going. And this only happened like maybe a week and a half ago. A week and a half ago, I started doing shorts because I kept meaning to do it, but it's just the thought of doing shorts for my YouTube and doing, I was just like, no, I just really can't. But now I can remix my own videos. It makes it so easy. So if I'm in bed or whatever, I just go through one of my videos, press the remix button, turn it into a shorts, and then I'll, line it up where I need to line it up, and then I'll add the words to it, and they're so much easier to edit in the shorts. Really, really easy to edit. And I can do it quite quickly, and it's done. So anyway, guys, I hope this podcast has helped you in a bit. I know it's not my usual manifest mindset and your mindset thing, because sometimes I think life, we just need to do the action part of it. Like we're not always gonna get there. I know people say, have the feeling and don't waver, which is very important, but there's sometimes when you just want to hear something that's a little bit more practical. And this is what this episode is. It's just about being practical in life. Yes, using your affirmations and manifest the mindset and all the rest of it. We manifest every day. We manifest all the time. But sometimes all we can cope with is just a little action. Anyway, I hope this podcast has found you well, guys. Don't forget to go on my YouTube channel for some more tips, mainly affirmations. And don't forget to... yeah, and I've got some, go on my Spotify as well. I've got some lovely, lovely meditation music that you can listen to. So until next time.